The People's National Party is very concerned about the recently revealed inconsistencies in the position of the government regarding the role of the United States authorities in the Tivoli Gardens operations in May last year in pursuit of the apprehension of Christopher Dudus Koch. Over the past few days, it has come to public attention that a U.S. State Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Customs and Border Protection significant incident report dated 24th May 2010, 10 a.m. indicates that video surveillance imagery was captured by U.S. authorities during the May 2010 Tivoli Gardens operation. The video imagery was taken by a Lockheed P-3 Orion aircraft belonging to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. The report states that the aircraft was deployed, and I quote, in support of the Drug Enforcement Agency and the Jamaican government, unquote. Despite previous denials by the government, the stated position of the U.S. authorities is that the surveillance plane took a live video feed while flying above Tivoli Gardens and passed this information through to Jamaican ground forces via U.S. law enforcement officers. The denials by the government that permission was granted for U.S. involvement or support during the operation were again repeated on Wednesday this week by the Minister of National Security. Only 1 day later, this position of the government was reversed in a statement by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister's contradiction of the position stated by former Prime Minister Bruce Golding and the Minister of National Security Dwight Nelson raises more questions than it provides answers. It is clear that the web of public deception started in the Dudus Koch matter by former Prime Minister Golding has been continued to this day by the JLP government now led by Andrew Holness. Whether led by Golding or Holness, the administration's modus operandi of governance by lies and deception continues. Why did it require public disclosure by the United States media and the local media to force the government to admit that the U.S. had asked and was given permission to provide assistance during the exercise? Why didn't the Prime Minister come clean to the country on the matter before he was forced to do so? The continued lies by the Andrew Holness administration are an insult to the people of Jamaica. The government's actions point to a systemic, inbuilt and programmed inability on the part of the government to tell the truth. The Jamaican people deserve better than a lying government. At what point did the Department of Homeland Security become aware of the intentions of the Jamaican security forces in relation to what became known as Operation Garden Parish, which would have prompted them to offer a surveillance plane for the exercise? The Prime Minister said the plane was offered and the offer accepted by the Jamaican government. Were the Department of Homeland Security and the Drug Enforcement Agency involved in planning the operation? What role did former Prime Minister and Minister of Defense Bruce Golding play in the granting of permission for this surveillance plane to be brought into the operation. Why did Mr. Golding state in Parliament a categorical denial of the involvement of the Department of Homeland Security and the Drug Enforcement Agency? Was Prime Minister Holness briefed by Mr. Golding on this matter? And if so, why did he keep it a secret? Why was National Security Minister Dwight Nelson, who is also a member of the Defense Board, based on his account of events in the matter, not told about the granting of permission for the DHS plane to be brought into the operation? Did the then Prime Minister not trust the Minister of National Security with such information? Is this a case of the right hand not knowing what the left hand is doing in the process of governing the country? Is Mr. Holness's failure to brief his security minister on a matter of such national importance another clear example of the Prime Minister's incompetence and inability to manage the job as head of the government? Was the permanent secretary in the Ministry of National Security, who also serves as the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Defense and secretary to the Defense Board, also in the dark on the matter? Was this a secret agreement that was hidden from the National Security Minister and the rest of the cabinet? Is it suddenly now acceptable for members of the cabinet to be kept in the dark on major policy issues for which they will be held collectively responsible when it is practiced by the JLP government? Was there a meeting of the Defense Board, of which the National Security Minister is a member, on May 23rd, 2010, at which meeting permission was granted for the U.S. authorities to provide the surveillance support? And was Minister Dwight Nelson present at that meeting? Was his permanent secretary present at that meeting? What was the particularly sensitive nature of the operation as claimed by the Prime Minister when the entire country, and indeed the entire world, knew of the effort to apprehend and extradite Christopher Coke? Going forward, can Minister Dwight Nelson be trusted as being open and truthful, having been found to be lacking in credibility and caught in a lie? This is just one more incident in a worrying series of activities in which the truthfulness and competence of the Minister of National Security are called into question. Prime Minister Andrew Holness must ensure that the surveillance tapes are made available to the public defender to assist in that office's ongoing investigation into the 73 or more deaths associated with the Tivoli operation. This is yet another clear example of the incompetence and the mendacity of the Holness-led government, and another good reason for the people of Jamaica to ensure that the JLP government is removed from office on December 29th. Thank you.